You've got that burst of motivation to finally break a bad habit, that fresh start feeling. You tell yourself, this is it. I'm finally gonna change. For me, I'd be so excited for like 2 weeks. And then the motivation fades and I'd be right back to where I started. Such a frustrating cycle. Most of what we call self-improvement is really just the process of breaking bad habits. But these habits are so ingrained, that's why they're habits, that we often do them on autopilot. That's why change is so hard, because we try to change something we've been doing for years in a matter of days. If you're tired of the cycle of trying and failing to break habits, stick with me, because I'm gonna guide you through a practical 3-step framework that you can start using today. And it's built upon the most powerful tool in self-improvement, the tool that makes all other progress possible: self-awareness. I've learned self-improvement doesn't start with action, it starts with paying attention. It took me a long time to figure out my big life-changing plans didn't fail because I lacked willpower. They failed because I lacked an understanding of how my brain works. See, your brain likes to save energy. It's its main job. And to save energy, it builds habits, like an autopilot that runs without you even thinking about it. Think about driving somewhere you go all the time. You don't think about when to brake or when to turn, you just get there. It's kind of scary. Scientists have a name for it. They call it cognitive disengagement, but most of us just call it autopilot. Studies show we spend almost half our waking hours running on autopilot. Autopilot mode is designed to run patterns efficiently and save energy, but it can take over parts of our lives that we don't want it to and sabotage our best intentions and leave us feeling stuck and like a failure. It's why I reach for candy when I'm bored, or why I check my phone for 1 minute and end up scrolling for an hour, or why I kept slipping back into habits I was trying so hard to break. When I'd suddenly decide to change my whole life overnight, I was picking a fight with my own autopilot. I was using my willpower to battle a system my brain had spent years building to keep things easy and comfortable. Your brain doesn't like big change. It sees change as scary and wasteful. So it fights back and it pulls you towards what's familiar and easy. And I used to think the answer was more discipline, more hustle, more pressure. But I discovered the real answer is less, smaller. We can't change something we're doing on autopilot until we become aware of it. That's why the real first step to lasting change is much simpler, but so much more powerful: self-awareness. Self-awareness just means noticing your thoughts, feelings, and actions without judging them. It's turning off the autopilot and simply watching what's happening in and around you. You can't change a habit if you don't even notice you're doing it. Here's what I've learned. Using willpower alone is like trying to steer a car from the back seat, and nobody likes a backseat driver. Self-awareness is finally climbing into the driver's seat. It's the map that helps you find your way around your mind. I know this might sound a little fuzzy right now, but it's the most useful tool I've ever created. It's the foundation everything else is built upon. So how do you actually do it? Well, you don't need to sit on a mountaintop and meditate for an hour. I started with tiny habits that take no time at all. An easy way to remember these steps is the acronym SEE. First, S is for spot the script. Autopilot loves things staying the same. To break it, I just made tiny changes on purpose. These don't have to be huge. I tried eating breakfast with my other hand, or took a different route on my morning walk, or listened to music that I don't normally listen to. These little changes seem small, but they're like a splash of cold water for your brain. They force it to stop running on autopilot and notice what's happening right now. The goal isn't to become a whole new person overnight. It's just to notice that you're running on a script in the first place. That's the first little crack of light. E is for examine the experience. When I used to catch myself putting things off, checking my phone for the 20th time, my first thought was always, oh, why am I so lazy? But that question is a trap. It's full of judgment and it leads straight into feeling ashamed, which just makes you want to hide the bad habit even more. So instead, I changed the question. I started asking, what's happening right now? What am I feeling in my body? Or what just made me want to check my phone? For example, I noticed that every time I felt a little worried about a big work project, I'd open social media without even thinking. The pattern wasn't, I'm lazy. The pattern was, I'm looking for a way to escape this uncomfortable feeling. Seeing the pattern clearly without judging yourself is the only way you can start to change it. Second E is enunciate the emotion. A lot of my autopilot habits were driven by feelings I didn't even notice. I'd feel a little uneasy, and before I knew it, I was standing in front of an open fridge. One small habit that really helped was just naming the feeling, even just in my head. I'd say, okay, I'm worried, or this is me feeling overwhelmed, or I'm feeling bored right now. Studies show that just naming a feeling like this can help you calm down the part of your brain that reacts out of fear, the amygdala, and bring back the calmer thinking part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. Naming the feeling gives you a little bit of space from it. It helped me see that I'm not my worry. I'm the person feeling worried. In that little bit of space is where I found the power to choose a different response. These 3 steps, spot the script, examine the experience, and enunciate the emotion, spell out S.E.E. That is the first real step. It's the foundation everything else is built on. If you're still listening, I appreciate you more than you know and hope this is helping. I'd love it if you'd hit subscribe. This channel is all about sharing what I've learned to help you find your own tools to become the best version of yourself. All right, you might be thinking, that's it? That's the big secret? Just noticing things? Yup. Because this one simple shift from autopilot to awareness is what makes everything else possible. Self-awareness helps you see where your thoughts and feelings are taking you, and it gives you the power to grab the wheel and choose who you want to be. Here's what I've learned. This isn't about being perfect, it's about making progress. I still have days where I run on autopilot, I still fall back into old habits, but now I notice it. And I notice it faster every time. That moment where you think, there I am, doing that thing again. That's a win. Every time you catch yourself, you make your awareness stronger. Big life-changing goals like a thriving business, a healthy body, or a calm mind don't happen from one giant leap of willpower. They're built from thousands of tiny choices you can only make once you're aware enough to see that a choice is even there. Awareness turns things you do without thinking into things you choose on purpose. For years, I believed and told myself that to change my life, I needed to be tougher on myself, more discipline, more grit, more hustle. I tried that, and every time it just left me feeling worn out and defeated. Here's the truth I've learned. Self-improvement doesn't start with action. It starts with paying attention. It doesn't start with changing everything all at once. It starts with seeing one thing clearly. Feeling overwhelmed isn't a personal failure. It's just what happens when you try to start the race at the finish line. Feeling like this is all too much is totally normal. It's just your brain hitting the brakes on big change. The problem isn't your motivation. It's that you're stuck on autopilot. And the real first step isn't to try harder. It's to become more aware. All right, self-mastery mates, remember, start small. Here's your challenge. Today, don't even try to change anything about how you act. Just try to see it. Spot one tiny script. Examine one moment without judging yourself. Enunciate one feeling. That's the real work. It's quiet, it's internal, and it's the most powerful tool for change you'll ever find. Your future isn't built by the person you wish you'll be tomorrow. It's built by the small, on-purpose choices you make today. Let's build a movement of self-mastery together, where knowledge meets action and potential becomes limitless.